Hey everyone, this is Matt with ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel. The running order for the grand final was just released, and I think it's time for us to delve right into it and figure out what's going to happen, if it's going to have an impact, and who it favors, or the opposite. Alright, let's jump right into it. Let's talk Eurovision. And as a reminder, this year is a little different. Previously, we had 13 songs being drawn into the first half, 13 into the second half, and then the producers could do the whole shuffling around. This time around, it's different. Only 6 being drawn into the first half, 6 into the second half, and the remaining 12, they are actually chosen by the producers. So half of the participants could finish in first or 26th in terms of running order, with the exception, of course, it cannot be first this year since Sweden is going to open the show, but all the other positions would be open to them. So let's take a look who ended up where, and you don't want to be too early in the running order. I know some people think that's not going to make a difference, but that's wrong. It does. It always does. So let's bring up the thing. As pointed out, Sweden is going to open the show. That is not going to change. But the big surprise is Ukraine. Ukraine is going second. It was very interesting because Christian Bjorkman said something to the effect of there are like 6 songs that he believes could win, and he wants to make sure that they are being a proper space given to shine. Clearly, Ukraine was not one of those countries he was thinking of, because going second, never has a country won the contest going second in the contest. If one country could do it, it is Ukraine. But going second is a major disadvantage, not just second like this early in the running order. It doesn't just affect Ukraine, but that is probably the biggest surprise, because they were in the top 5 of the betting odds. Weren't they like third at some point, like until this evening? So that is huge. That hasn't happened ever, I don't think. So that's reason 522 why I don't like the producer-driven running order. But it is unfortunate for Ukraine. I feel bad. That's going to affect their betting odds, I am sure. But once again, if a country could pull it off, it's Ukraine, because, you know, they'll always do well. And that doesn't mean they're not going to be in the top 10. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it makes winning a little bit, and by little, I mean a lot more harder. So yeah, that's probably going to be a big conversation going forward. Germany third. I know they drew first half, so it's not surprised that they're in the first half, but going third, ouchie. Germany is not being talked about a lot in terms of chances, so that could only cement their potential outcome of coming last in the televote, at least. I still think the juries will prevent Germany from coming last overall, but I'm really worried about the televote at this point, because, as said earlier, running orders oftentimes provides an issue with in terms of, you know, being something that people would vote for. Recency bias plays into this also. In addition to that, people often tune in later. Like they maybe join during 7th or 8th song. They've been a breakup before by certain broadcasters. So those things will impact Germany. The advantage is at least that now you can vote at the beginning of the show. Maybe that increases their odds a little bit. At the same time, we've done that a decade ago, and that didn't make any difference. Most people, the vast majority, votes at the end of the songs. So we'll see. But yeah, not ideal for Germany. Luxembourg, I called it. They're going forth. I said Luxembourg was giving a really good running order, because, you know, it's Luxembourg. They wanted them to return gloriously, making to the grand final, which they did. And now I think they're just going to kind of fade away in this running order. I don't think the song has a lot to stand out over there, especially there comes some big hitters right after. So I think this is more like considered a filler between, you know, some of the bigger songs. That's why they're putting Luxembourg fourth. But we're just glad that they're back, and we'll see them next year. And it's just great to have them back and seeing them in the lineup. Yay. Another somewhat shocker is the Netherlands also getting a super early running order, number 5. Not what I expected with that one, but that makes me think that maybe that Joost didn't do as well in the televote. I don't know. I'm doing speculation here, but usually the favorites are being put a little later in the running order, and this makes me think maybe it didn't do quite as well. Not ideal for the Netherlands either. It is a fun, memorable number, but, you know, by the time the 26th song comes around, Finland has a much better running order. I don't know. I'm maybe overthinking it, but I'm looking at it historically, you know, and usually the first 6-7 songs, that's not the most ideal situation. In 6th place, or position, not 6th place, is Israel. I also think how that's going to impact things. Israel, I mean, that all happened while they were behind closed doors. The producers figuring out where to put countries. But after semifinal 2, Israel jumped from like 8th place to 2nd place in the betting odds in like just within a couple of hours. This had a lot to do with the Italian broadcaster RAI apparently showing the televote results at the end of the show. So you saw it at the bottom, and it showed that Israel almost received 40% of the Italian televote. So haven't received anything confirming that this is accurate, but if it is, of course, bookies think, oh, this could win. So I'm putting all that money down there. But now they're going in 6th. That's not going to help their odds, but I don't think it's going to make a big difference either. Going right after Netherlands is maybe not ideal, I'm thinking. Some people are also saying that Israel got so many points from Italy because Italy performed in 14th, I think, which was actually Israel's running order, so a lot of Italians thought it was actually Italy they were voting for. These are all the speculations. We don't know what is accurate. We don't know if the results are accurate. But there's a lot of, going on behind the scenes. So in the end, they get 6 in the running order. Also, probably not what they were hoping for, but I'm not too surprised. Number 7, Lithuania. Lithuania, I always said, will probably be on the left side of the scoreboard, 13th, 12th place, something like that. And I don't think this running order is going to make a huge difference for them there either. So, no, sounds about right. Spain is number 8. So that is not much to add there. I think that it's not also the best option for them because, I feel as Spain would have had a bigger impact at the end of the show. I'm still worried about the juries because Spain needs a lot of televotes to really go ahead and... This is not necessarily what I wanted to see for Spain, especially then coming right before Estonia. Another fun entry. I don't know. So yeah, Estonia, I think, stands out there a little bit, but I don't think Estonia was ever considered a winner, or I don't even think it's going to be a top 10, but... somebody had to come 9th. Ireland drew first half, so we knew that would be between 1 and 13, so 10th is okay. I thought they're going to get like 12th or 13th, to be fair, but I still think that this is a good spot. I mean, I know Lorraine won out of 9th. You can easily get a top 2, top 3 in the televote from that position at this point. It's really just more like the first 6, 7 positions where you're just like, up. Traditionally and statistically so far. So I think Ireland has a good position, and especially the songs that are before and after Ireland is almost ideal, because Latvia was the big qualifier, surprise qualifier from semi 2. No one saw that coming, or almost no one. So they get 11th position. I don't know where Latvia lands, of course, based on our previous predictions, we would think Latvia is going to be a little bit lower on the end of things, but these are not predictions here. These are just running orders. For Latvia, I think this is a solid position, I guess. It is certainly... There will be people who hate Ireland, right? Because it's such a polarizing entry. And Latvia could be just this calm after the storm. Like, oh, finally a song that I can listen to. So it's maybe not the worst case scenario. I don't think it'll be overshadowed by Ireland, because people who love Ireland will not really vote for Latvia. And people who don't like Ireland, they could maybe just appreciate the big difference in style and genre. So I think Latvia actually has a decent running order, if you ask me. Greece, 12th, so kind of in the middle. And it's just a fun song that'll stand out. It's also a good running order coming right after Latvia, being more upbeat and fun. In Greece, I think has every chance to make the top 10 this year, I think, as well. United Kingdom actually is basically right smack down in the middle, and it just comes down to how it comes across. I think the staging is bombastic and fantastic. Ollie's vocals have been a little inconsistent, so that is why I am a little worried. But in terms of running order, I think it's solid. Middle of the pack, can't complain. Same for Norway, coming right after the United Kingdom, and then followed by Italy. That's another fan favorite that is, in the second half of the running order, so good. And I do think Italy could stand out here. For Italy, it is a good running order. The only reason I'm a little disappointed for Italy is a lot of the big hitters, fan favorites, betting odds favorites, they're yet to come. So the only downside is that is potentially going to work against Italy. But I think just looking from a running order perspective, I think this one stands out, Italy. It's one of the big favorites in that 11 to 18th range. So Italy will have their moment to shine. So I would not be too upset. Not ideal, but certainly far from the worst case scenario. Serbia 16th. I think that is a good ballot. We just thought, oh, are they going to put Serbia second with that? Because it just has that feel. But they just went second in semi, so they had some mercy here. Going after Italy, sure, and then right before Finland, which is going to be so crazy. Finland, I'll put that in the polarizing, I think, category as well. People love this kind of novelty act, and it could benefit Serbia and Portugal, that comes right after Finland, being okay, this is, let me breathe, let me take this in. But it's a great, great setup for these countries, because it's true. The producers wanted each song to shine. Serbia, Finland, and Portugal all certainly have their moment to shine in that running order. Armenia getting a great running order at 19. There's not much to say there. That sends out Cyprus, also really good. And we're going to get a few upbeat songs here. Switzerland's like not an upbeat, but it's also not a ballad. It's its own genre, I feel. And going fairly late in the running order is ideal for Switzerland. I think that at this point, looking at this running order, you can make a case that this will be a battle between Switzerland, Croatia, and, in my book, actually France, but more on that later. But great running order for Switzerland, and then followed by Slovenia. You can make a case Slovenia maybe just squeeze in between 8th and 10th place in the semi. That's why it's kind of between two very strong songs, like right after Switzerland and right before Croatia. Maybe not the most ideal outcome, but it's later in the running. So I'd rather be later in the running between strong songs than being like in the first 5 between weaker songs. That's how I look at it. So Slovenia, maybe not the most ideal setup, but once again, if a song is good, it'll stand out, even if it's between two very popular songs. And then Croatia, betting odds favorite, in 23rd. I think this is looking really, really sweet for Croatia right now. This is similar to where like they put Måneskin Italy in 21. I think they were 24th, but almost the same thing. So this is a good time, like just this last moment, like whoa, as we slowly bring it down again. Although the only downside for Croatia is Georgia going right after Croatia, another upbeat song, but it's a very different song. So I don't think they cancel each other out just because they're upbeat. People can take two upbeat songs and judge them and evaluate them on its merit, not just because, oh, they're two upbeat songs, I can only like one. No, it's going to be different. Georgia, great running order for them, of course, 24th, and I think that's going to be the best result in many, many years. Georgia has the potential to be on the left side of the scoreboard as well. And then France got this sweet, sweet 25th spot, second to last. Obviously was never going to be a closer. It's not a closing song. But second to last is as close to closing as it gets without being the closer. And I've been saying for weeks, since the first time I heard it, don't count out France. To me, it is a likely top 3 in the finals, and I would not be surprised if it wins. Now, going 25th certainly increases France's chance in the televote significantly. In the jury, I've already said this is probably be top 2, maybe top 1. So France, put that on your radar, my friends. France is not here to sit on the sideline to be like, let the others do well. No, France is in it to win it. I could be wrong. I could hear from you. You're wrong, Matt, in like a couple of days. But I truly believe that. So fantastic running order. And then Austria must be thrilled closing the show. The producers usually put a fun song last that they often necessarily don't consider a winning song. And so I don't think anyone ever thought Austria would win, but it certainly helps Austria maybe to get a better result at the end. Because going last, that cannot hurt you. It can only help you. Austria must be thrilled. There is a world where I can see Austria certainly on the left side of the scoreboard. I mean, I want it higher because it's such a banger. But yeah, that is how I see it. I think so in summarize all of this. Switzerland, Croatia, and France, when I look at this, look really, really pretty at the end. Two very strong songs that will probably potentially battle it out. And I know not everyone will agree, and that doesn't mean I'm going to completely ignore all the songs that between 1 and 20. I'm not saying that, but it is the way it's set up. It seems like that's the intent here, and I know that you will not agree with that. But when you you can't help but obviously speculate that this is what's happening here. But again, Italy, I think actually looks pretty darn good as well in the running order. Besides the whole, some of the favorites coming later on. And then, yes, when you look at the first 12, Ireland, decently placed. The rest is just kind of like what it is, I think. Some of them are less competitive than others. We will see how that's going to pan out. But take a look at that. Which one pisses you off the most? Or which one excites you the most? I know we talked about Ukraine. That really stinks for Ukraine. I think that was the biggest casualty of them all. I'm sure we can talk about Germany, Luxembourg, but we knew that they would never win. Ukraine had the worst case scenario. Netherlands, not ideal. Israel, maybe not what they wanted, but it's getting slowly better. You know, the later you go, the better it gets. Let me know what your thoughts are below in the description box, in the comment section. And I think we have a lot to talk about during our next live stream tomorrow, huh? I cannot wait to hear from you what your thoughts are. Have a good night, everyone.